Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me get rid of this, get rid of this. How is everyone doing today? I am just making sure that I'm in the right spot. Good morning and welcome. It is Tuesday, what is today? 22nd? April 22nd. And this is Coffee and a Card. Let me move this down just a hair. Okay, it's Tuesday, April 22nd, and this is our weekly Coffee and a Card. I normally go live on Mondays, but this week just got away from me. I spent most of the weekend going through, that's going to bother me. Okay, I spent most of the weekend going through my retiring stamp sets and getting everything labeled. I'd like to know when it was released, what catalog, if it was an online exclusive. There's so much going on with Stampin' Up! Right now. We have online exclusives that come out every 2 months. We have kits that are released every month. We are about to have a new catalog launch on May the 6th. It will be live. Let me grab that real quick. So we are currently in this catalog. So this is our current catalog, and it is good through, it says April of 2025, but I think this new catalog is May. The newer catalog, this one is May. So these prices in this catalog are actually good through May. The new catalog is going to launch in May the 6th, I think, is when all of the products will go live. So if you would like a copy of this, there's a link in the video description for you to go and fill out a form and request a new catalog. If you have ordered from me in the last 6 months, you will get a catalog. If you haven't received your catalog by, I don't know, the first or second week of May, send me an email. Let me know, hey, I didn't get my catalog. Can you send me one? If you would like the current catalog and you have not ordered from my online store in the last 6 months, I'm trying to figure out which just fill out the form for me. Go to the link in the description, in the video description, fill out that form for me, and I will get this catalog sent to you, okay? Cardstock prices are about to increase. So we are about to see an increase in cardstock prices. They're going to go, our packages of cardstock, you currently get 20 sheets of cardstock for $11.50. They're about to increase to 14, I think it's $14 for a package of 20 sheets of cardstock. I love Stampin' Up! Cardstock. A while back, I just stopped buying the stuff from the big box store, from the everything. I stopped, I all I have is Stampin' Up! Cardstock. I love their cardstock. The quality is fantastic. The colors match. That's one of the things I love about Stampin' Up! Products is the inks, paper, ribbon, everything matches. They do such great, Stampin' Up! Does such great quality control over the products that to make sure that everything, all of their colors match. And that's one of the things I love about their products. All right. One thing, let me get this down here. Stampin' Up! Tomorrow we're going to have free shipping. So you will get free shipping on orders of $75 or more. Sorry, you can't really see that, can you? Hang on, let me move myself to over here a little bit. Maybe you'll be able to see better. How is that? Okay. So free shipping April 23rd through April the 25th. You will get free shipping on all orders of $75 or more. Bonus, on that $75, you will earn 10% in rewards to use on your next purchase. Extra bonus, when you sign up for Stampin' Rewards through my online store and you place that order, I will send you this week's card kit for free. So you'll get the free kit with purchase like every other week for your order, but you will also get free shipping, Stampin' Rewards, and if your order is over $100, or if it's $100, I will send you a free embellishment also. So you'll get free shipping, Stampin' Rewards, plus card kit, plus embellishment for your $100 order. Okay? Bonus, right? All right, let me go back here and I'm going to get rid of that. So let me get rid of this. And okay. So last week I challenged everyone. I challenged you guys to help me get more subscribers to my YouTube channel. And I want you to know that we had, how many people did we have? Let's see, I started off last week with 44. So I got 3 new subscribers last week because I'm up to 47. I don't know who those people are, but I wanted to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you to my new subscribers. And if you could help me get to 100 subscribers, I would greatly appreciate it. So we're trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of May. So if you could go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel to help me reach 100 subscribers, I would greatly appreciate that. All right. Today we are going to be working with the Thankful Garden bundle. It's actually a suite of products, and it is, excuse me, goodness gracious. It's a suite of products, comes with paper, paper embellishments. I think there's some ribbon in there, but today it comes with masks. Today I'm going to teach you how to color your stamped images with masks. I am really hoping that Stampin' Up! Comes out with more of these because I was playing with this yesterday. I don't have my card ready, nothing, but I was playing with the coloring yesterday, and look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's one ink pad, and look at all that beautiful detail just from using a blending brush, an ink pad, and a mask. It's fantastic. I am in love. And so we're going to be using that today. Let me turn my camera down so you guys can see what we're looking at. So this is the stamp set. There's a glare. Sorry about that. So this is the stamp set, and it comes with, I transferred, Stampin' Up! Used to sell they used to sell wood blocks, mounted stamps on wood blocks. And we used to, hold on just one second. I'm going to do this. Hang on. I am going to try and I'm going to fix this real quick so you guys can see me down here at the bottom. All right. Okay. How's that? All right. So Stampin' Up! Used to sell red rubber stamps that were already mounted on wood blocks. And when they did, they sent the wood blocks and they came in these bigger cases. So what I did was, since this bundle comes with a stamp set, dies, and it comes with a stamp set, dies, and the masks, I took it out of the thin case and put it in one of the thicker cases so that I could just have everything in the case together. It would all probably fit in a thin case. I just had the bigger case, so I changed it out. This is part of the, I think it's the, is it Lovely Garden suite of products? Let me show you the paper. Yeah, it's called Lovely Garden. And this is the paper. We're not going to use the paper today. Oh, I think we're going to use one sheet of the paper today. But this is the paper that comes with the suite. And I love when they do suites. I think I'm actually going to do a class kit to go, or a class kit. So you would basically pay for the kit. I would put the kit together and ship it to you, and then you would just pay for the kit. But look at this paper, front and back, and then the flowers. And I believe that the dies will cut out some of the flowers in this cardstock. But look at that, it's beautiful. And then it goes into your yellows, and I love how they've incorporated some black in there. And then this is so balmy blue and fresh freesia together with garden green. And I love the fine polka dotted black print. I think this is the one we're going to use today as a background. But look at this. How beautiful is that? You can almost just cut this cardstock up. I think I actually do. Stampin' Up! Had some cardstock a while back that I loved so much. I just cut it out and I put it in a frame, and it's actually hanging on my wall. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. All right. I'm going to set this aside. Put that down there. So it comes with the stamp set, and look at these, how big the stamps are. Like, I've mounted the hydrangea already, and it's on a, what size block is this? It's on an E size block. But look how big, it's beautiful. But that's the stamp set. And then it comes with the masks, and each one of the masks is numbered so that you know you would use number 1, then number 2, number 3, and it comes with 5 masks. So you use them all in numerical order to get your image colored like this. And it's just, the colors just built up. I went light for the first layer and then darker as I blended. Okay, so, and I have an idea in my brain what I want our card to look like today. We're going to work it all out while we're here. If you're here watching, I would appreciate it if you would say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always nice to chat with people, you know, when you're crafting, so you don't feel like you're doing it alone. But I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, and then we will get started. So today we're going to use fresh freesia, soft seafoam, and mossy meadow. These are the 3 colors that we're going to be using. Okay, so I'm going to grab a sheet. What I have here is I have a card base already cut that is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish that. Well, let me fix it. Sometimes my score lines, when I use my paper trimmer, don't come out exactly straight. So let me fix that. There we go. Much better. Okay. Now I'm going to take a piece of black cardstock, basic black cardstock, and I am going to cut that down to 4 by 5 1/4. Move these over here. Okay, I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4 for that layer. here? I feel like that's very far away from me today. So that's going to go there. Then I'm going to grab a piece of our fresh freesia, and I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4 by 5. I may have to cut it just a little bit shorter because I want to, yeah, I may have to cut that again. And I will have, I'll send out the project sheet, the PDF project sheet for this project today. I'll get that all typed up and I'll send it out tomorrow in my email newsletter. So if you would like this project sheet, please sign up for my email newsletter. When you're on my email newsletter, you receive a project sheet for all of the cards that we create during Monday Coffee and a Card. Also, I want to remind you that you get, when you place a $50 order in my online store by Sunday the 27th, you'll receive the card kit for the cards that we create this week. So you'll get enough, how do I want to say this? You will get all the cards, pre-cut cardstock and dies that aren't included in the bundle to make the 4 cards. So it's one kit for each card that we create. So you get 4, enough to make 4 cards. Okay. Let me get rid of this. Let's go ahead and grab our, I can't use the mini because my cardstock is too wide. With your mini cut and emboss, the width here is 3.5 inches. So if it's wider than 3.5 inches, it will not fit through your mini cut and emboss. I call it the mini boss. So I gotta grab the big guy, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put these right over here. Let me put these up. Sorry, I know you can't see my face. Move that up a little bit. There we go. All right, so I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab my plates. Almost time for me to get another bottom plate. So this, I want to make like I'm using the Fancy Borders dies, which they're new dies that are going to be coming out, I think. Let me double check. No, these were an online exclusive that released in March. So these are available and they do come with a stamp set, but I just liked the dies, so I didn't get, did I get the stamp set? I thought I had. Huh. I thought I got the fancy, oh, hold on. Hold please, I was looking for the wrong thing. Yep, I did. They're part of this, they're a bundle. This is the online exclusive bundle. So it comes with this stamp set, and you could actually use these sentiments with the cards that we're making today if you wanted. All right, so I'm gonna I just want this border here. I'm gonna grab, my Post-it note tape is gone. What did I, oh no, it's right here. I just moved it. Okay. I use Post-it note tape. You can find it on Amazon. There's a link. Stampin' Up has been out of it. So I believe if you go to my blog, There is a link to it in my Amazon store, I think. I'm gonna get a little overzealous here, and I'm gonna use 3 pieces so that it doesn't move on me. All right, I'm gonna put my top plate down. Go ahead and crank this through. This because we're going to be using it again. Put that right there. And then when I reuse the little strips until they're just not tacky anymore or until they get gunky. So I just stick them over here on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. But look at that pretty edge. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to layer this. I'm going to cut, okay, now I'm going to have to cut this down about, we did what, 3 3/4? Yes, so I'm going to cut it down about 1/8 of an inch. So it's actually 3 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 3 5/8. And then we'll put that just like that. I'm not going to glue it down yet because I might decide to put some ribbon or something on there. So I'm not gonna glue that down just yet. I'm gonna reach over here and grab some embellishments. These are the Tinsel Gems. It's a 3-pack and it's Fresh Freesia, Lost Lagoon, and Misty Moonlight. But I think we're going to use these right here. These yes, they're on the, these are on the last chance list too. So, all right, I'm going to take my card base and my layers and I'm going to set those aside. Then I'm going to grab my cards, my thick white cardstock, and I am going to grab my stamp. We're going to use the large hydrangea stamp. I'm going to grab that. Then I'm going to grab my Versamark because this is only the second time I've used the stamp, so I'm trying to fill in all the little imperfections that might be in the stamp. Little grooves because it's not smooth. So I'm trying to just fill those in since it's the first time. I'm going to use my Memento. Ooh. Hold on. Let me fix that real quick. Got a little over heavy-handed with the ink there. And I don't want that on, showing up on my paper. Okay. Sometimes I forget it's just a pounce, pounce, pounce and not a squish, All right. Now I'm going to kind of stamp it in the center because your mask has to go over it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp this one more time because we're going to use 2 of these. I'm going to stamp right here. I'm just applying even pressure with my hand so that I know I get a good crisp image. Okay, I'm going to grab my chamois and clean off my stamp so I don't stick my finger in the ink. And I'm going to set it over here off to the side to dry. Okay? Now, we're going to grab mask. We're going to grab our masks and a blending brush, a small blending brush, our fresh freesia ink. All right. We're going to start with mask number 1, and you have to find the position of your mask. And I think it's this way. Yes. So the tip is this way, and once I get it set, I'm gonna mark it with a pencil. So that way I know this is where my other masks will line up. Okay? I'm gonna grab some tape and I'm just gonna hold it down so I don't okay. Now you want to take your blending brush, and I have a piece of just scrap grid paper here. I'm going to take your blending brush and just light, since it's the very first layer, you want to start off really light with your first layer. And I'm just going to blend. And I'm not really even putting a lot of pressure. I'm just blending that color. Around. Okay. Now I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to move it over to the next flower. And I'll make a mark on this one also. Okay, I'm going to mark here, mark the little triangle, and then I'm going to mark the edge. There's a little V cut out that that's where you should line up, okay? I'm going to do this again with my blending brush. I'm going to go off of the paper to get some of that ink off of there, and I'm just barely going to touch. Okay, so that is number 1. There are 2 flowers, 2 floral images in the stamp. In the stamp, you have the hydrangea and you have this other flower. I'm not sure what it's called, but that's the second flower. And so each stencil is going to have, you're going to have your negative space for the hydrangea and your negative space for the other floral image. All right. So we're done with 1. What I do to clean these is I take a paper towel, just take a paper towel, and I use our stamp cleaner, the one that you use with the Stampin' Scrub cleaner, and just spray that on there. And then I just wipe off that excess from the mask. Okay, and then just dry it off. And then I just set it off to the side and let it dry. And I think my puppy wants to come in here, so I'll be right back. Give me just a second. Come on. You have to lay down, though. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go on, get in your bed. Okay. Good girl, Penny. All right, so the next one, it's labeled number 2. We're going to take and line it up with our marks. Some post-it note tape down there, and this we're going to go a little bit heavier, so I'm going to add just a little bit more ink onto my brush, and when you do that, we'll just add a little bit more pressure, and you don't even have to hit all the okay, I'm gonna line this up again. Add my fresh freesia. So there's number 2, and you know, it's very, none of them are going to turn out exactly the same because of how heavy-handed you might be on one and not so heavy-handed on the other. So now we're going to do number 3. We're going to line this up. And this one, goes right I don't like it. Well, I love it. I shouldn't say I don't like it, but it doesn't I'm trying to get it to match up with the I put it here. That's way off. So you have to just kind of gauge it. Look at your images and get it set up. Okay, we're gonna go for it. Poor little thing, she thinks she's hungry, but she's been fed like 3 times already today. All right, so this one I want to really ink up my brush, and we're gonna go pretty heavy. A little more pressure. Look how pretty that is. So beautiful. All right, we're gonna do this on this side too. Right there. I'm going to open the door for her one more time. Give me just a second. She can't decide what she wants. Go. Our other dogs will open the door themselves. You know, they'll nudge the door open with their nose, but little Miss Penny, she's kind of a diva. She wants you to do everything for her. How beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Excuse me while I grab a drink. Okay, now we're gonna go with the leaves, which the leaves start on, the leaves are masks 4 and 5. And since we're doing the large hydrangea, we're gonna do this one here. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my soft seafoam since it's the lighter of the two, the lighter of the colors. I'm going to grab my soft seafoam ink pad. This one doesn't, there we go. Pop it. I do not use soft seafoam very often. Actually, I think this is probably the first time I have ever used it. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm starting off on the scratch paper because I don't want to get that blob of ink when you first touch your cardstock. So I start off on the scrap piece of paper. All right, I'm layering the second one. And I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow, and I'm just going to use the same blending brush. I'm going to get as much of the ink pad, the ink off of here as I can so I don't. I've seen some people have the same, they have one ink pad for each color. I don't have that. I just use, I have one for my greens, blues. I haven't collected that many pads yet. All right, so I'm going to take the Mossy Meadow and I'm going to just make sure I get it all over my brush. And then I'm going to go over and get as much of it off as I can. And we're going to go right over this stencil. And I'm working a circular motion. I don't know if you've ever used like stencils on your wall or anything like that. But instead of a pouncing motion, when you work with paint, with the ink, you just go in a circular motion to get that there. Oh my goodness, look how pretty that is. You see that? That is gorgeous. I probably could have gone a little lighter, but I do like it. Okay. I'm going to go a little wider with this one. See how that looks. Pretty. All right, I'm going to set these aside. So they don't, I'm going to move them over here to my table so I don't get ink everywhere. I hope everybody had a good Easter. Like I said, I spent most of my day, most of my Easter. My mom went out of town to visit with her two sisters, which is great. Her and her sister, the middle sister, drove up to see the youngest sister. They haven't seen her in a while, so mom was gone. You know, our family's all over the place, so we didn't spend time with family. My husband and I just stayed here and enjoyed each other for the holiday. And I went through my craft stash and started going through everything that's about to retire, so I know what I have to work with for the next 6 months. So it actually felt really good to be I feel a little more organized, except that I don't have all my projects completed like I did last week, but that's okay. We'll get there. Okay, I'm getting a notification saying that an error was received when retrieving new Facebook comments. So if you're here on Facebook and you are commenting, know that I will go back and look at any comments that you leave, and I'll respond to you after the video. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to grab my die for the flower and I want to cut those out. So I am going to separate these and then we'll cut them out. My plates for my Stampin' Cut and Emboss are a little worn, my cutting plates. So sometimes when I run them through, it will distress the cardstock a little. It breaks down the fibers in the cardstock. And so I don't want to run the one flower through twice by leaving them together. So I'm going to do them individually. Okay. So I'm going to grab this. And we're going to put down some Post-it note tape. I'll run it through our machine. And it moved on me, dang it. All right, it moved on me just a little bit. See, that's why I use the Post-it note tape. That's why I already have these other two done, and I'll use. So I'm gonna do, I'll stick one here at the top, and then I'm gonna stick another one down here at the bottom. Lesson learned. Okay, let's try this again. It's all about trial and error, right? Oh, that's better. Much better. There's a piece here in the center that you'll want to make sure that you pop out. Okay? So there's one. I am going to go ahead. You could still, there's a die inside the, actually, I think I will use it. There's a die inside the dies that will cut out 3 of these flowers, and I think you just have to figure out, it's these little flowers right here. I'm going to use this to cut these flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reach over here off to the side and I'm going to cut these little flowers out real quick, because then we can use them for some dimension on our other hydrangea. You could also fussy cut them. You could cut as many out as you want. You know, you could fussy cut if you wanted. But since the leaves are a little off, we'll use these. And will it cut? I think that's the only... I saw someone else using it, and I think that might be the only set of florals that it will cut out. They also, I think, nope. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to save that. Put this back up. Get rid of this. The trash can's way far back. Okay, now I'm going to grab my leaf stencils and we're going to go ahead and color this leaf again, and we'll do another hydrangea. Okay, so I'm going to grab soft seafoam. If you only had one, if you don't have soft seafoam, maybe you only have Mossy Meadow, you could, just like we did with the hydrangea, you could just build your color and start with a very light blend of the very light blend of the Mossy Meadow or whatever green color that you have, and then just end up with the darker color. All right, so there's that one. I'm gonna grab our Mossy Meadow, and where's my other stencil? 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I carried it over with me. Did I carry it over? Does anybody see the other stencil? Oh, I do this all the time. Well, it's not in the trash can. Oh, it's right here. Under my paper. Okay, I'm going to line this one up. Beautiful. What do you think? All right, let's try this again. You have 2 plate 3s when you're embossing, when you're cutting and embossing, and I keep one plate that's a top plate only. And then when the bottom plate gets really worn out and you need to switch them out, I will grab a new plate and label it top plate and use the old top plate as the new bottom plate. Does that make sense? Do you follow me? It's just a good way to save on your, to me, it helps extend the life of your cutting plates too. All right, we're gonna stick a piece at the top and a piece at the bottom so this doesn't move on us. Run that through. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to distress this a little bit. I want it to have just a little bit of, you know, to where it looks like it's worn. So I'm going to grab my fresh freesia, my dark fresh freesia, Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to just flip, well, I'm going to just flick some on there. Then I'm going to grab this and I'm going to do the same thing over my hydrangea here. It's very, very subtle, but you'll notice it. My dogs are barking. I think the neighbor is mowing their grass again or something. All right. So now that we have that done, put that away. I am wondering if I should, I think I want to emboss this piece. I think I want to use my exposed brick embossing folder. And I'm going to emboss this. I'm going to run this through over here. Oh, I don't need this plate. I just need those two. Yes, that's going to be so cute. So pretty. Coffee and a card is where we make it up as we go along. So I want one of my hydrangeas here and the other one right here. And then I'm going to trim off I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals, which are here. Put that on the back. You could just as easily use one right here in the center and layer it here and then put your sentiment and this is it's hard to tell which flowers we cut these from. Those right there. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down using our multi-purpose adhesive. Just like this. I'm going to use a bunch of dimensionals on the back of one more. That's a lot. You probably don't need that many, but I was walking around the house the other day and I felt like there was something on the bottom of my foot, a piece of tape or something, and I had stepped on a dimensional backing and it was stuck to the bottom of my foot. Okay, got them all. I'm going to put this right here. It can hang over just a hair because I'm going to do it right there. Okay. Then I'm going to grab some linen thread, which is my favorite. And we're going to, this would even be pretty with some of the black, the black and very vanilla. I'm going to wrap this around a few times. I need to come a little bit more. I think I'm going to wrap it around 3 different times. So oh, now that's too much. Hold on, let's get this right. There we go. Whoops. I like to run my ribbon under all 3 layers before I tie my knot. I just created 2 bows. I tied two loops together. I had extra, so I just tied the 2 loops together again and created the 2 bows. Okay, now we are going to, we need a sentiment. And I think I want to use the Thankful for You friend. So let's go ahead and mount that. Oh, it's really big. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that'll be pretty. I'm going to fussy cut it out. So I'm going to go ahead and let that sit for a minute. I heard, I think it was Patty Bennett say, when you pull your stamps off of when you pull your photopolymer stamps off, it stretches them. So you want to let them sit for a minute before you mount them on your block to kind of let them shrink back together. I thought that was a really good tip. And I need let's see. This one? Yes. All right. I'm going to use this bottom of our cardstock here, and then we'll just fussy cut this out. I think my little girl needs to go POTTY. All right, I'm going to use my Versamark again because it's new stamp set. And then I'm going to use I'm going to use my Memento ink. Ink that up. And I'm going to stamp it. Right there. Okay. It's like you have to really concentrate. I wish Stampin' Up! Had dies for all of our words, you know, when they put them in a bundle like this. I wish that they had the trick is to move the paper, and this is really difficult, especially when you only have one really operational eye, one eye that works the best. And I'm going to use some dimensionals and pop this up right there on the front. Penny, give me just a second, honey. We're almost done. Okay, now I'm going to add some glue. I like to take a piece of tear and tape. This one may take a few, but I like to take some tear and tape and put it over any twine or ribbon that you've stuck down. Honey, hold on just a minute. The tear and tape is good to hold your ribbon down so that it doesn't move back and forth on your cardstock. That's what I was trying to say a minute ago. She's down here at my feet. I wish I could see her. She's got there's a little dog on the internet that this lady dresses her up in these cute costumes, and she feeds her, and she does this thing where she pounces her feet, you know, like she wants her breakfast or whatever, so she pounces her feet, and that's what my Penny girl does when she gets excited about something. Okay. So I'm going to use the Tinsel Gems, and if you place an order before Sunday, you will place your orders tomorrow through the 25th. When you place an order, you get free shipping. So you get free shipping on $75 or more, and you'll earn Stampin' Rewards, plus you'll qualify for this week's class kit. But in order to get the class kit, you have to make sure that you place your order through my online store. So make sure that at the top it says you're shopping with Janet Edwards, or you can click my store link, and I will be sure to send you the class kits for this week. So you get the class kits, you'll get free shipping, you will get Stampin' Rewards on anything over $20, and when you place your order and if it reaches $100, I will throw in a set of Tinsel Gems for you. Okay. So, well, okay. I'm going to do one more right there. And there's our card today, and I will finish out the inside, but I got to take my little doggy out because she's about to have a fit. So I will finish out the inside. I'll take photographs. I'll post the photographs with the measurements on my blog. If you are part of my email list, I will send you the project sheet for this card. It'll have instructions and measurements with photographs. So if you would like the project sheet, subscribe to my email newsletter list. I will send that out tomorrow. Usually goes out about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I will send that out with tomorrow's email. And I hope that you guys, again, thank you for subscribing. And please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of May. So I would appreciate you subscribing. And also, don't forget that you get a free card kit with your $50 purchase. And you can find all the information you need on my blog at stampedinink.com. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you later. Thank you.